Hey guys, I'm here with another video. Thanks for watching my channel as always and listening to what I have to say. I am here to talk about the Kitty Karr book. Okay, so a couple things about this book. Number one, I did not seek this book out. It wasn't in my recommendeds or anything like that. This book came to me through my book club, which I do love when my book club suggests things that are normally off the beaten path for me. So I was excited to read it, put in my request on Libby, okay, and I'm talking weeks, child, like weeks wait. And that's how I knew the book was going to be popular. So either it was a fire, mind you, I didn't read the premise of the book at all. So either it was going to be a fire psychological thriller because that's what my group likes, or the storyline itself was just going to be absolute freaking flames. Okay, so I knew it was going to be fire because the wait was long. When I tell you my book club met about this book, came and went, and I still did not have my copy of the book, to the point that I wish I remember how long the wait was, because I'm telling you, it was something astronomical. Okay, something astronomical. And I just got it a little while ago. Okay, so finally got the book after my book club had met about it. Like, I wasn't even midway through the book or anything like that once they met about it. They had met and it had been done. So I was like, well, I've waited so long, I'm going to read the book, right? So got the book, and then I was like, ooh, am I going to like this? Because it starts out with these girls, they're doing their thing, like modern girls, clearly, you know, Black girls, people of color, so I'm already intrigued. But then it jumped back in time, so I want to say the 1950s or something like that, and I was like, oh God, or maybe even the 40s. I was like, oh God, it's now become racist trauma porn. And that is one genre I do not like. I don't want to necessarily read a book on slavery. I don't want to read a book on racism outside of like I don't want that to be the focus of the book. That's normally not my thing, okay? But this book was different. And it's still kind of trauma porny, but I can't put my finger on what made this book different. It's very similar to, God, what is that book? Everyone loves it. Do 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 do. The woman's on the cover in a green dress. Do 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 do. Evelyn Hugo. That's the name of the character. If I can remember the book, I'll flash it on the screen. Evelyn Hugo. I think Evelyn Hugo actually might be the name of the book. Anyway, it reminds me of that in that aspect of there's someone with a secret. They're living a double life and a secretive life, similar to Evelyn Hugo. Spoiler alert, Evelyn Hugo was an actress who was a lesbian. It's a fiction book, but she was a lesbian. And for the majority part of, it's called The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. And for the majority of her life, she bounced from man to man to man to man to man to man to man. And in her death, she revealed that she was a lesbian. So this book is similar to that in the aspect of it's about a woman living a double life because she is a Black woman or a mixed race woman, but she is fair enough or light skinned enough to pass at the time. So 50s, 60s, she was passing as a white woman, even though she was a Black woman. She falls in love with a white man, and she meets other people in like Hollywood who are, I'm ruining the book. I'll put in the title that it's spoilers ahead. And she meets other people in Hollywood that are also passing, and she gets, involved in these organizations that donate money to people who aren't able to pass and are living in the struggle. And she goes her entire life passing as a white woman, and she never reveals to the public, as she's a popular actress, that she is a Black woman. She dies as a white woman. That is the premise of the story. And it was something. Like, I would definitely recommend reading it. My immediate thoughts were that I liked the book. It is very similar in that hidden identity aspect as Evelyn Hugo. I wish the ending had had more closure for a lot of characters. So I wish it had more closure for her, the main character, Kitty Karr. I wish it had more closure for her sister, Emma, who it's like you never really know what happens to the chick, right? And there are a lot of other twists and turns that they do clarify and talk about, which was nice. But the ending did feel a little incomplete. I wish it had been more in depth. This book really made me think about it really made me think about how many Black people probably died white that we will just never know about. You know, like, this is a work of fiction, but this could be very much someone's reality. And like the simple things that they had thought through, like, oh, you're going to marry this white man but never have this baby because you could still have, you know, Black genes and your baby could come out Black, which, spoiler alert, ends up happening to Kitty. Yeah, it really made me think about that. And I was really invested reading this from a Black perspective of just wondering how many people historically did this. And even like the selflessness of her mother to just give her up so that she could live a better life away from the horror of being Black in the 50s and 60s, right? Crazy novel. Definitely a thinker. If you can get your hands on it, I would definitely say it's worth an Audible credit. I looked up the author. Thank God, a person of color. I would have been full of ick if it wasn't, but a person of color, so definitely check. Did you hear about Kitty Karr? I thought it was an excellent read. Definitely made me think. It made me think more so than The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, simply because I guess being a lesbian isn't my reality, right? I'm not a lesbian, in case you were curious. No offense to the lesbians, but I'm not a lesbian. So that was just like a story to me, ingesting that and thinking, oh, wow, that's crazy. But I am definitely Black. And I live that reality every day. So this one, I would say, hit more close to home and wondering simply, like, that's crazy. I wonder how many people walked around like that. Such a good read. So if you can get your hands on it, it is a long wait if you're going to rent it. Did you hear about Kitty Karr? It's definitely worth a read. If you're not into the trauma porn aspect of race and racism like I am, like a factual book, sure. Fiction, it's not normally my thing. But if that still is a trigger for you, you might want to skip this one. But I thought it was excellent. If you want to check it out, I would check it out. I would say it's worth an Audible credit if you want to spend some moolah. Yeah, I think that's all I have to say about it, that it really made me do some thinking. And it's interesting when fiction books make you do the thinking versus the factual books. Like, I expect, America Goddamn by like Trevor V. Lindsay to make me think about race and racism. But a fiction book, not so much. But this one really, I felt, was well done and not in a trauma porn kind of way. So check out Kitty Karr, subscribe to my channel, like my videos if you would like to. Thanks, bye.